Yo, what's going on out the fight world? It's your boy Money back with another one, fam. And this one here is on three future Hall of Famers in this fight game. We have Errol the True Spence Jr., we have Andre SOG Ward, and we have Terence T-Bud Crawford. And we all know their backgrounds, their pedigree in this boxing game. But Andre Ward has came out and he's took Terence Bud Crawford's side once again, talking to Sean Porter saying, at Brother Showtime, Sean Porter, I don't agree with your comments about the Crawford/Spence negotiations and how Crawford should conduct himself. I can't respect that. It sounds like you're telling him to shut up and fight. Fighters have worked hard to earn a seat at the table. So Andre Ward saying Terence Bud Crawford worked his ass off, right, to be at the table to negotiate his deal after Sean Porter came out and said maybe Terence Crawford, need a promoter to come to the table to get the job done with Al Heyman, right? And Andre Ward, he took to the social media and he let it be known how he feel. But, if you've been following Andre Ward, you've been following the situation with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, right? Andre Ward always seemed biased for Terence Bud Crawford's side. Now, it's times where he kept it real and been 50-50 on the fight happening, right? For what's going to happen inside the ring. But when it comes to the business side, he always blamed Errol Spence and Al Heyman. Like, even in his recent statement when he said, Errol Spence and Al Heyman is being too greedy, right? When everyone thought that Terence Crawford was the only one getting, a no guarantee. When this guy right here, Errol Spence, also was getting a no guarantee, but he was getting what he was deserving with a higher percentage, right? So when Ward come out and say that, Terence Crawford earned the right to sit at the table, hey, if he want to represent himself, he can represent himself. Nobody can tell him to go out and get a promoter. Nobody can tell him to go out and find investors or nothing to put the money up and things of that nature. If you want to sit at the table and represent yourself, represent yourself. But when it comes to Errol Spence and his team, and you're doing business with Errol Spence and his team, and Errol Spence is the A-side, doesn't matter how y'all try to slice and dice that shit. Doesn't matter how much shit Terence Bud Crawford talk or all the accolades that he fucking named. It don't put asses in the seats and it don't add up to dollars. And when you look at Errol Spence and you look at his career and you look at what he's been doing in the sport and on pay-per-view, he's been generating and grossing more than Terence Bud Crawford. These are facts. Terence Bud Crawford, these are facts. Now, when it come to Bud, right, he sat at the table. He got everything he asked for. I can't keep stressing this enough. Right? He got what he asked for. He got the transparency. Right? Yeah, got the transparency. He said he agreed to no guarantee, just like Errol Spence agreed to no guarantee. I'm quite sure everything else in the contract that he asked for, he got. Right? But when it came to him signing the contract, he disappeared. He disappeared. So why don't Andre Ward, ask Terence Bud Crawford, why didn't he sign the contract when they came back and gave you the transparency that you said that was the deal breaker? You know what I'm saying? So when we're looking at the situation, Crawford keep using he wanted to fight this year as an excuse to get away from the Errol Spence fight, and that's not an excuse, bro. That's not an excuse. Because when y'all was negotiating, right, your team and even y'all coming out now saying that y'all was dealing with other entities and other companies, working on other deals and shit like that. So y'all was already, stalling negotiation with PBC, and y'all got to hold y'all feet to the fire as well. Stop making like it's only PBC side that was, holding up the fight and that wasn't trying to be fair in certain situations, and hold Terence Bud Crawford feet to the fire as well. Because right now, Andre Ward, you only taking Terence Bud Crawford's side. You only seeing it from Terence Bud Crawford's side, especially when it comes to the business part. Because Crawford is standing alone, people make it looking like, everything is against him. Errol Spence is against him. PBC and Al Heyman and a machine against him. Showtime is against him. It make it look like everyone is against him, and now he got to play victim out in this bitch. And then you got people like Andre Ward coming out with all this sympathy ass shit. If you're going to be fair down the middle, be fair down the middle. Period. If you're going to be fair down the middle, be fair down the middle. Right? So if he's sitting at the table with himself or if he's sitting at the table with a promoter, Errol Spence is still going to come out on top. Al Heyman is going to make sure that. And rightfully so. He's the fucking A-side. Why shouldn't he come out on top? Right? Why shouldn't he? It's Terence Crawford, his arrogancy, his ego, you know what I mean? His trust issues that he got. And his insecurities, bro. Like, he's not keeping it real. You can tell the jealousy that he got for Errol Spence. I got videos coming on that. You can tell in the K. Abado interview how he just referenced Errol Spence to everything when she wouldn't even bring Errol Spence up. Right? Certain situations, she was just asking him about himself, and he was bringing up Errol Spence and shit. So it just shows you, bro, that he got a disdain towards that man and some type of jealousy and envy. Just got to call a spade, bro. Now, when it comes down to the business side, you got to take your feelings out of it. You have to take your feelings and your emotions out of it. You can't sit up here and be like, oh, well, Al Heyman's just doing what's best for Errol Spence. He's not worried about my good words about. When you're doing business on your own behalf, bro. If you're going to sit at the table and do business, know the business then, bro. Period. If you're going to sit at the table and you're going to do business, know the business. Don't run around making like people trying to fuck you over and treat you like you're a nobody. And Andre Ward, you got to stop all that sympathy shit, bro. Because you just showing nothing but sympathy towards Terence Crawford and make you be biased on his side, bro. When you talking about you 50-50 down the middle. You understand? You have to give Errol Spence and this team some type of credit for trying to make the fight happen, for dragging it along with Terence Crawford, for coming to the table, trying to work shit out with him as well. But you just make it look like, oh, it's Errol Spence side that don't want to do no right. They just want to fuck Bud over and ain't treating him with no type of respect or no dignity. Like he's not a man. You know what I mean? Y'all taking the shit that, oh, the fans saying, and because the fans turned Terence Crawford ass up, and they blaming him for ducking the fight, rightfully so, right? Y'all want to make it like, oh, well, people don't know shit, or, you know, they don't know nothing, right? They never been in this position before, so they can't talk. You know what I mean? Terence Crawford. Or, you know, they can say what they want to say, but then, you know, they just not happy with their miserable life. You know, I'm okay over here. Come on, man, with that bullshit. You make people want to go at your ass. At the end of the day, you sat down at the table, you did business, it was good business, right? It was fair on both sides. Even though y'all tried to paint the narrative like it wasn't fair. And you ran out the door. You ran out the door because if it wasn't fair, you would have been sitting your way at the table talking to them people for so long, bro. Let's just be real. You wouldn't have been sitting at the table talking to them so long. When you coming out talking about it's all about the money, so the fight with Errol Spence don't really mean shit to you. You wanted to get the big bag. And the big bag was there. And you let it get away because you couldn't go make the fight happen and let the money come in. You know what I'm saying? You ain't believing your goddamn self. So how you believe, you want other people to believe in you, but you don't believe in yourself. Like, let's just keep it real, fam. So when it comes to the situation with Andre Ward, you know, I disagree with what Andre Ward is doing. He's pointing the finger at Errol Spence and PBC. He's only been one-sided for Terence Crawford, even if he's going to say he's not, right? He's going to say that, you know, I'm only making a case for Terence Crawford to be able to sit at the table and negotiate the deals for himself. But if he's sitting at the table negotiating the deal and the deal is fair, then that means Terence Crawford need to be fair and not cry wolf every time, you know, a little thing not going his way, or when he's not in control, or when he's not the A side. And you're not the A side in this situation. You know you're not the A side in this situation. Know what I mean? But as long as people like Andre Ward them keep making Bud, you know, feel like he's correct and that he's not doing nothing wrong, then he's going to continue to carry on like this, fam. And we're not going to get this fight. You feel me? We're not going to get this fight because Terence Crawford is not being fair. And people like Andre Ward and them need to wake up and see that shit and tell him. Like, bro, if you go somewhere you're doing business with somebody and you say you agree to everything, then take a chance on yourself and see what it come out to be. You know what I mean? Take a chance on yourself and see what it's going to be. If you're supposed to do this, that, and the third to Errol Spence, you feel me? So I just can't agree with what Andre Ward is saying, bro. I just hope, you know, he open up his eyes and see both sides of the situation and don't just be one-sided. You was doing good when you was going at Tim Bradley and shit talking about the fight. You know what I mean? Saying Errol Spence want the fight, he ain't ducking and shit like that. But now it look like since the business side was starting to hit and things are getting realistic, that you just sign more and more with Terence Crawford. You feel me? And I feel like that shit ain't fair coming from Andre Ward. At the end of the day, you know, Terence Crawford got to start being realistic. If you want this fight, if it come back around, You got to give, period. Errol Spence is giving, so you got to give. And you got to take that arrogant shit and throw that shit away. Take that arrogant shit and throw that shit away. Because I don't think Al Heyman is over there trying to fuck this man over in no shape, form, or fashion. All he's telling Bud is to be patient. Let us make this shit happen. It's going to happen. And when it do happen, both parties will walk away happy. Let us do our job. But you're not letting us do our job because you want to question every goddamn thing because you don't know no better. You want to be your own boss, but you don't know how to be a boss. You feel me? This your first time negotiating shit. You know? Your first time. Sit back and learn some shit. Because you're not right. At the end of the day. Now you got your little deal with BLK Prime. You got the $10 million. But then when this come back around to Errol Spence, that's going to be more than $10 million. You have to give a little bit, bro. Quit being so damn arrogant. Andre Ward, you got to open up your eyes and quit being biased, bro. Period. Shouts out to all y'all. Most definitely shouts out to EJ. Keep doing your thing, King. Until then, it's your boy Money. It's the NSBC moving. Everybody safe in these streets. Hit them thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. You want to donate OG Money on Cash App. TreyHouse52@gmail.com on PayPal. If not, just tell a friend. Hit that subscribe button. Like, comment, share the videos. And y'all know how your boy get down, man. Big dog status, family.